Back out here on the Sheltowee, picking up where I left off in April from Cumberland Falls, heading down to Burnt Mill Bridge. That's about 111 miles out here on the Sheltowee Trace. I'm solo right now, but I'll be joined in a couple of days with a friend of mine. So join me out here on another adventure on the Sheltowee Trace. And for those who may not know, the Sheltowee Trace is a 330-ish mile trail through the beautiful Commonwealth of Kentucky. I section hiked the Sheltowee 2.5 years ago, and I've got videos if you want to check those out. And kind of inadvertently am attempting to section hike the Sheltowee one more time this year. My friend Dan is section hiking, and I joined him at Heidelberg, and we hiked down to Cumberland Falls, where I started today. Hopefully get to the end, and then that'll leave the first section to complete later. I'm hoping to do that maybe in January, but we'll see. I've been following the Cumberland River since the falls, and now I'm turning away from it, and I'm going to basically hike over to the big South Fork of the Cumberland, but I won't hit there till a day or so. There is a little road walking on the Sheltowee, but it's not too bad when you're on a road like this. I think this is about a 3-mile road walk, so really just kind of a nice break. Before that, it was a nice little forest road. I don't mind that at all. So I'm going to take a much deserved break. I've got in about 13.1 before noon today. So that's a pretty good pace. So like I said, I'm going to sit down, take my pack off, and have a little snack. The reason I need to keep a good pace is because I actually have a schedule to keep. I'm meeting Dan at the Blue Heron Mining Company, and that's about 25 miles from here. So I need to go at least 5 miles, but I'd like to go at least a couple more maybe, and make tomorrow a little bit easier, because I'm not sure where we're going to camp. He's going to get there after dark, so I need to know where we can camp, hopefully even have my stuff set up, and then just lead him back to camp. So that's kind of the plan right now. Just out here enjoying this beautiful weather today. Couldn't ask for anything better, really. This is November 8th, I think, right now. It's election day, actually. But I already voted. Well, I'm gonna have to take a look at this here. Maybe not. Okay, I remember this spot, and I just saved myself a little bit of time because of it. I am, 4 miles to Barren Fork Horse Camp, and you come from the trail, which is very well established. It's a road. Come to the creek, and the road continues. And if you look, there's actually a little triangle and another one up farther. But those are aluminum and they have numbers on them. They are not Sheltowee, even though they're very reminiscent. So you need to be careful. I made the mistake last time of going straight and went for about a half mile before I realized I was wrong. Came back here, and all I had to do is turn left. They do have a pink ribbon tied up there, and if you look in the distance here, let me see if I can zoom in. There's the Sheltowee blaze. So be forewarned, 4 miles from Barron Creek. Watch your turn. I also remember this because it was in the summer when I crossed here, and it really wasn't that bad to get my feet wet, but there's no way to go without getting your feet wet. I'm about 2 miles away from Flat Rock Church. I'm going to stop and get a little bit of water, maybe a liter and a little bit more, top this off. But water's been pretty good so far on the trail. It's been very nice. That was a great, refreshing break. Not only did I get water, but I was able to kind of splash some water on my face, my hands, kind of clean up a little bit before I get to sort of a little more public area. And it just felt nice. About 3:15 and just past Flat Rock Church a bit ago. I'm back in the woods. But it's a little too early to stop. So I'm just making tomorrow shorter. This is actually about the halfway point, almost exactly to the Heron mining community. So my plan is to just kind of go along for a little bit and see what I can find as far as a campsite. So exactly what I didn't want to happen is exactly what happened. I just haven't been able to find any camp spots. I kind of rolled the dice a little bit, and now I need water and camp. So I'm having to go longer than I really wanted to today, by quite a bit. We'll see what it is at the end. But the good news is just a couple more miles, and there's a good camp possibility. So that's the good news. Might end up even doing some night hiking after all. To be determined. Made it to camp. It's about 6:40 right now, and I'm not sure how many miles I did. I'll check the mileage here in a little bit, but I am going to get dinner. I'm starving, and I've got homemade black bean burritos, so with hot sauce. Looking forward to that. I've got the cooked and dehydrated beans from home, and I have a bone broth additive. I also have, I don't know if you can see them, those are dried tomatoes from the garden. So basically like a tomato leather almost. So I got a roasted tomato, black bean, and some hot sauce. And that also comes with tortillas, of course, hence the burritos. And also some nice cheese from my sister. Thanks, Amy. A great day today. A little bit long for my liking, especially for the first day. 27 miles, 26, 27 miles, something like that. So I'm just going to try to relax a little bit and get ready for tomorrow. Good morning from the Sheltowee Trace, day 2. I'm just leaving Allen Ford Campground. As you can see, really nice sights there. Bear boxes, fire rings, even lantern posts. I've got a short day today, only about 12.3, 12.5, I'll say. to meet Dan, and he's not going to be there till 7. So I've got all day to do that. And I think I know where we're going to camp, thanks to the Far Out app. Speaking of that, if you haven't gotten the Sheltowee trace from Far Out, the map from Far Out, do it. It's $15, I think. It helps Sheltowee trace, and I'm all for that. Donate to the Sheltowee Trace Association, become a member like I am, and help support this beautiful, wonderful trail. I'm here at the Cotton Patch Shelter. Standard AT style shelter. Not a lot of space out front. I'm coming up on the Rock Creek crossing, and last time I did this section, it was up too high, which it often is, and had to do the high water reroute. Now, I wouldn't think it would be too high now, but we'll see. I don't really have good views of it yet. Here I am at Rock Creek, and it's looking pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna have any problem getting across. I wouldn't think so this time of year, but now I get to experience, there was a little section here that, of course, I missed doing the bypass. Benefits to doing a trail in multiple seasons over time. It looks pretty easy to cross, but I'm definitely going to get my feet wet. So I'm not going to worry too much about bouncing over these slick rocks. I'm just going to go ahead and go through it. There's one deep section that you're just going to have to get through, but not too deep. I guess I'll find out. All right, here's the deep part. Maybe 8 inches, maybe a foot right here in the middle. Whew. That feels good. After a tough hike up from Rock Creek, little short road walk now onto the Kentucky Hiking Trail section, and 4.6 on the Blue Heron. Getting closer. I'm down here by the Devil's Creek, and I'm Far Out. It says not only a water source, but possible camp sites. But I don't see anything that would remotely resemble a campsite. There's so much underbrush that not even possible. And I poked around quite a bit, got some water. It's only like 1 more mile to the mining camp, so hopefully I can find some kind of stealth site on the way. This is all part of the adventure. got camped together. Pretty close to Blue Heron. Took a while to find a good site, but finally found a great one. It's a little close to trail, closer than I'd like, but it's not too bad. We can definitely make it work, and we have a great view. So now I'm just gonna relax, get some things together, and wait for Dan. Got to meet him down at Blue Heron, right there at the main buildings. If you've never been to Blue Heron mining community, check it out. It's got some historical facts, all kinds of exhibits and things like that during the summer. Right now they're closed, but they still have bathrooms and trash cans. So, and it's also a good parking area. They have security cameras. So yeah, if you need a place to do a section, this is a great place. Good morning. Day 3 out here on the Sheltowee. And this morning I'm with Dan. So he's keeping a good pace. He's got fresh legs. He's fresh out here. Had a great night last night at our makeshift camp that we made work there at Blue Heron. Dan brought me some Taco Bell and a few candy bars for later on in the trip. So I'm excited and grateful for that. Thanks, Dan, and looking forward to this big day. We are hoping to maybe get to a Great Meadow Campground, 22 miles. We'll see if we can make that happen. But it should be another wonderful, beautiful day out here in Kentucky on the Sheltowee. Come join us for day 3. Let's see what happens today. We had a nice hike this morning. Had a good pace. We think it was right around 12 before 12 again. Although our mileage was kind of off a little bit, but either way, we had a good pace. It's not as sunny and warm today. It's a little more overcast and cool. So I sense a change in the weather. We'll see what that means for us exactly. We just had a great day. Hiking in the woods. Nothing spectacular, just a lot of rocks out here on the Sheltowee, so it's fun to see which ones I can remember and which ones are new to me again. Here's another one. We don't really have any plan for this part of the trip. From Blue Heron, it's 72 miles to Burnt Mill. We have 3.5 days to do it, so we can figure we can do 20 miles per day. Finish up with the 12-mile day. At the end, we should be good. So that's kind of our loose plan, is just to go 20 miles. Of course, according to Far Out, there is excellent camping at like 25 miles. But we don't know if we want to go that far. We're just going to kind of play it by ear. Let's see where we end up. We're just going to enjoy our time out here on the Sheltowee. Today has been quite a few big climbs. We just got done with another of the, definitely I'd say 2 big ones for sure. Yeah. But only a few more miles to camp. I think we're, 3.6 to Peters Mountain, give or take. None of these signs were exactly right, but that's about how far we are. We got 3.6, no, what is it, 5 miles to go to camp, and about 2 hours before sunset. So the race is on. We made it to Peters Mountain. Now it's about, what, 1.5 to camp?
Yep.
And water source on the way. Well, we didn't make it to camp before dark. And now we're going through the rhododendron and this huge rock scrambling creek section. But I think we might be exiting out of that and into something new. Now we're into the creek fording section of the evening hike. Just when we get less than a half mile there, it's all slow going, trudging through the creek, up and over boulders, around things. Oh, except that rock, just kick that one out of the way. We're getting close though. All right, camp's all set up. Food is all stowed away in the bear bags and they are hung. We are expecting some rain tonight. This is going to be the first big test for this X-Mid. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what kind of rain it's going to be, but it's going to start sometime after midnight. Temps are still up pretty good, but it could rain most of the day, if not all day tomorrow. So we're looking forward to not only a good test for this, but great test for tomorrow. So looking forward to it. Let's see what happens. All right, I'll check back in the morning. Time to get up. I don't really want to though. I'm nice and cozy. Good morning. Day 4 for me out here on the Sheltowee. Day 2 for Dan. And what a wonderful night last night. Kind of warm, but it rained, I think, pretty much all night long. It was great. Tent held up well. Even think I learned a few things about the floor in that tent, but that will be yet to be determined. But we're on our way now to Great Meadow Campground, which is one of my favorite spots on the Sheltowee as far as camps. It's a great, huge Great Meadow, hence the name Great Meadow Campground. I think it's supposed to rain off and on most of the day. So we've got our rain gear on and we're prepared. Let's see what this day has in store. I know right off the bat, we're gonna take a little break here at the campground. It's about 2.5 miles from where we camped. So we'll get there. They've got some restrooms. Try to dry out, rearrange, and get ready for the day. We're a couple miles past the Great Meadow Campground. Not able to shoot a lot, it's just raining all morning. I thought I'd try to take a little time to show you what we're walking through. Definitely enjoying our morning out here on the Sheltowee Trace. The trail was already covered with leaves. Now the trail is covered with wet leaves. We had a nice lunch under a rock shelter, a little snack break. But we've been moving pretty steadily ever since the morning, and it's been raining nonstop. Stayed pretty dry for the first few hours, about 4 hours I'd say, and now we're not. So we're just pushing through, and luckily it's not too cold out. But getting ready to come on to up to the John Muir Overlook, which is one of my favorite parts of the Sheltowee. Doubt we'll get any views today, of course, but just trying to be safe and enjoy the lovely scenery. Forest is always interesting with the clouds and the fog and the rain. So we're gonna keep pushing through, enjoying what this day brings, and looking forward to getting warm and dry sometime. We just passed the John Muir Overlook. Now, it's actually up a little bit before we go down. And the down is gonna be very steep and very interesting with these wet conditions. So, we're both looking forward to that. We've both, I think, done this section of the trail before. I've done it a couple of times. One of the best on the Sheltowee. One of the best areas in Big South Fork. Well, the rain finally stopped for the most part. The weather was so great, and now it's taking a change, but we knew this was coming, and we're prepared and actually kind of looking forward. Just a couple hours to camp, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully the rain holds off. We can start to dry out just a little bit. It may not look like much now, but we got camp, and we just wanted to get to camp before dark tonight, and we did it. Not only that, but we also got a camp with a view. We're right along the Big South Fork of the Cumberland River. Great end to another tough day. Rained all day, but I've got homemade, home dehydrated chili with some tortillas and hot sauce packets. It's gonna be a great dinner. Gonna be an early night and another tough day tomorrow. Check back in the morning. Good morning. It's day 5 out here, day 3 for Dan, and what a night last night. Yesterday just rained all day. We were wet, couldn't dry anything out tonight or last night. So needless to say, we're still wet, and we were expecting some rain really any time now, but I think we might squeak by with no rain this morning. But the temps are going to drop, so we need to make sure we get everything dried out before the temps start dropping, because tonight it's down to about 25 degrees. It should be about 35 when we pull into camp tonight. So the key today is stay dry and stay warm. And we got to get 20 miles in. So this is our last big day. Got a shorter day tomorrow, and I've got a busted bridge that I've got to try to figure out how to get through. So, all right, we're starting off the day here on the Sheltowee. Let's go. So I'm not going to do the bridge. I'm going to do this treacherous one-handed nice slide. All right, first thing in the morning, cold water. Wow, couldn't have come at a better time. We stopped into the Chariot Lodge and got a little trail magic. Got some coffee, some biscuits. First people we've seen on trail the whole time we've been out on trail. So nice to finally talk to somebody. Yeah, we're just gonna take a break and get back out. It's still raining. Just taking a minute here underneath this rock shelter to take a break and catch up here. We had a great time there at Chariot Lodge. I wasn't sure if they were gonna be open or kind of how that worked. Last time I was here, it was COVID, so they were open, but they decided to walk on by. But man, we had some great trail magic, met a bunch of people. Like I said, we hadn't seen anyone for since I've been on the trail, since either one of us had been on the trail. So that's 5 days for me without seeing a single person except Dan. So that was nice. It was only supposed to rain for maybe an hour or two this morning as far as we knew, but it's already been 3 or 4 hours now. So hopefully the temperature doesn't drop too much. Just kind of worried about the cold rain. We're all wet. We're just going to do the best we can, try to get through this. Just got to make it to camp tonight and get dry, and hopefully it just stops raining. We'll be all right. So hard to film in the rain, but I'll do the best I can. Thanks for sticking with us through this Sheltowee trace. It's always an adventure out here. I love this trail. It's always exciting. You never know what's going to happen around any given turn. So I see we got some stairs up here. So, all right, let's get going. Well, between the rain and the stop at the lodge, we're behind a little bit, but that's the bad news, I guess. But the good news is it's not raining anymore and isn't expected to the rest of the day. So hopefully we can make a little better time and make that back up. The downside of that is the temperature is going to be dropping. It's already a little bit cooler, as you can see. Got the jacket on now. But we're trekking along, just leaving Bandy Creek Campground and heading back down. See how far we can get. So we're heading through yet another kind of rock wall structure here along the Sheltowee. And it's tempting to show every single one of them because they're awesome. But in lieu of that, I thought I'd show you this one. We're here right now. And this is a rather nice example. Very representative of the Sheltowee. We're getting real close to a Leatherwood Ford. Making pretty good time today. Another 20 miles or so. But we've got a couple of options as we pass the parking area. So we're gonna stop there at the restrooms, move some things around, but we've got a couple of campsites just a little down on the river. Point 2, I think, and point 4. So we're gonna check everything out, explore our options. My battery is about to die, so basically I'll check in when we finally get situated at camp. It was another great day out on the Sheltowee. Around 20 miles, 19 and a half, something like that. For today, it was tough today with the rain and the cold, but the cold is just coming in. It's getting down to about 25 tonight. So kind of a test for me. I'm going to be just on that edge. We'll see. It should be just fine. We're just down from Leatherwood Ford and have a nice little campsite here. Dan's actually at a campfire with our neighbors, about 5 of them, 6 of them, section hiking the Sheltowee. So nice to see them. A few of us out here on the trail. We've got another big day tomorrow, about 14 miles, but we have a short amount of time to do it. So we're going to get an early start as best we can in this frigid temps. We're not really used to them yet. So it should be a bit of a challenge. So join us. We'll see what tomorrow has in store. Had a great dinner tonight and looking forward to tomorrow. Good morning. Day 6 out here on the Sheltowee, and we camped 0.2 miles down from Leatherwood Ford, which means we are 0.2 miles to go back to the bathrooms here at Leatherwood Ford. And these restrooms are great. They're heated, and we just threw everything in the bag. We're gonna come back here, dry out a little bit, wash our hands, use the facilities, and get everything packed up real nice. And we have 14 miles back out to the car, and for our final short half day here at Big South Fork here on the beautiful Sheltowee Trace. So join us, getting ready. Let's get in here. See what Dan's up to. All right, well, our time in the bathroom is done. It was pretty good way to start the day. Need to make a habit of this, but now we're back out into the cold and on our way. 14 miles today. Let's go. Crossing the O&W Bridge now. The sun is just coming up over the ridge tops a little bit. We're getting there. So we're out enjoying a beautiful hike this morning and go through a couple of small camps, which is nice to see people out here in this weather. But then we went through a huge camp, had to be 25, 30 people. And they're all here for the Sheltowee Trace Challenge, which is doing a weekend a month. You can hike the entire Sheltowee with a group. So that's a really good option, especially for people who are just learning about the Sheltowee or just getting into backpacking. So I highly recommend that. But what's really nice is we're gonna finish the trail with a lot of these people who are finishing their section hike of the Sheltowee. So that kind of adds to the excitement. And it's nice to finally have some people out here on the trail. We actually passed somebody. It's more people than we've seen on the entire trail leading up to this point. So there's definitely an energy in the air, and I think it's just gonna get better as we get closer and closer to the end of this trail. Wow. And the cool temps really just help with that excitement. Tell you what. Honey Creek Trailhead, 3 miles.
Yeah, something like this, yeah.
Coming through into the rock house. Really cool section of the Sheltowee. Up and over these boulders. You can go around, but what's the fun in that? We've still got a few miles left of this trail, but I want to take a minute to talk about the Sheltowee. I section hiked this a couple years ago, as I said previously, and doing this trail changed basically the entire way that I hike. I started doing big 4-day trips, 80, 90, 100-mile trips out here on the Sheltowee, and kind of learned how to do that. And loved that, finished it, and had a blast, and knew that that's how I wanted to move on. So I started hiking the Smoky Mountains, sections of the AT, and just again doing 4, 5, 6 days, getting more and more. And all that started right here on the Sheltowee Trace. And because of that, it's always going to have a little special place for me as the first big trail that I ever completed. And seeing these people out here today that are about to finish that and about to complete something is really touching. And it's really a statement, I think, to the Sheltowee Trace Association for introducing more people to backpacking, the Sheltowee, the Big South Fork, and just the great outdoors. Can't say enough about what they do. Donate money, become a member, volunteer. It's a great organization. So special thanks to them. And of course, special thanks to the Sheltowee Trace. And of course, Dan, for coming out here and letting me tag along. And now that we're about to finish this third, I guess, of the 3 sections, I need to redo the first section, which would be from the northern terminus down to Heidelberg. So I'd like to do that. So hopefully in January, I can make that happen and complete the Sheltowee for a second time section hiking. So join me on that and join me for many more adventures to come. Thanks for watching this adventure out on the Sheltowee Trace. And we're gonna finish this out. I hear there's a little bit of trail magic perhaps at the end of this trail. So congratulations to Digsby up there for his completion or near completion of the Sheltowee. And let's get done. Thanks for watching.